How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. A little bit of IPA time. A little bit of fresh IPA time. Hopefully, fresh IPA time in the form of Civil Society Brewing's Fresh India Pale Ale. Yeah, Civil Society running through a bunch of their beers courtesy of Ralph. Ralph from Florida sent me off two beers real quick and then popped off another 6-packer of beers, and all 6 of those were Civil Society beers. So thank you very much, Ralph. I'm new to these guys' game. Got to cut through a couple of their beers and have had pretty similar thoughts throughout them. So we'll see if that continues to be true with this one. As far as what it says on this can, it says Fresh India Pale Ale. 6.2% alcohol by volume. They don't take their can, so I don't actually know if it's fresh or not. So there you go. Label-wise, it's, it's kind of Florida. It's neon colors, palm trees, yellow background, Kind of that sticker can thing that everybody's doing. But that kind of random art thing. A little bit, I don't know. What am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not so much that kind of that intentional funny thing that whole Who Farted does, but it's kind of like just collage of kookiness kind of thing. Anyway, finger and a half, just off weight head, infinite creaminess, super tight compact bubbles, and we have a soft kind of cataracty orange to it, that kind of creamsicle-y thing. Is there lactose in there? I don't know, but you can actually get this view without that. But it has that kind of creaminess, that kind of, like I said, a slightly cataracty kind of orange thing going on. So she looks like a New England style IPA, let's put it that way. See if we get a nose. Very similar to a lot of the other beers. I'm getting this one, getting that kind of tropical fruit, a little bit of citrus, kind of rindiness with a bit of bitterness kind of floating throughout it, with that green kind of hoppiness. A subtle touch of that fattiness, that fatty, almost like a buttery kind of thing going on in there. With a density. It has bitterness in there. There is a kind of dense fruitiness to it. It smells like it's super dense. It smells like it's super hefty. It smells like there's bits and pieces of the beer that would traditionally be dropped out. Not filtered out, but kind of dropped out of the beer in there. It's kind of been the MO of Civil Society throughout all these beers. So, see if it rings true in the taste. Cheers. Pretty much the same. Smaller than what you expect based off of the nose. There's a bittering throughout the whole thing. A bittering that is kind of generic, edging on kind of a weediness. Not smoking weed, more like pulling weediness. Subtle green to it. That fruit is definitely kind of smaller than everything else at this point. It's got like your generic kind of, drips and drabs of random kind of fruit medliness, but nothing I could really kind of dial in, and there is that kind of fatty, subtly buttery kind of thing floating throughout it. Big, dense, huge, turbid mouthfeel to it. And that'd be that. It tastes, again, I'm not going to keep saying the same thing over and over. I'll probably post these reviews a bunch in a row, so start at the beginning if you haven't already. They're dense, they're thick, they're what I construe, what I believe is a brewery wanting to make New England style super hazy IPAs, and they're kind of just finding their way, and they haven't gotten to the end of that way yet. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. I don't know. Who am I to judge? Well, I'm the judge because I'm the person here talking about the beer. Am I right? Am I wrong? It's what I believe, and that's the brass tacks of everything I say in this fucking channel. So, to me, it's kind of the most flutophony of kind of the New England style IPAs. A flutophone. You're like, what the fuck is a flutophone? I don't know how old you are, but when I was younger, we had music class in school. I know, isn't that crazy? Arts and music and stuff. Who would have thunk it? But in music class, we did a bunch of different things. One of the things they made every kid do was you had to play the flutophone, which is a white and red plastic flute that was about this big, and you just kind of had to play it. And it was part of the curriculum in school, and it didn't necessarily make good music. But then again, if you knew what you're doing and you played music well, you could play that flutophone quite well. But it was very generic, and it's just that everybody kind of did it. And it wasn't necessarily a good instrument, or it wasn't like you played good music. You just are kind of trying to get through the curriculum and doing what everybody else kind of sort of did. And that's kind of where this beer lands for me. It is that kind of middle-of-the-road kind of generic thing going on. I believe it tastes like there's a good core there, there's a good base there, and they're going to find their way. But for me, again, just kind of hazy to a T. You know what I mean? Like grainy to a T, but everything's kind of muted, middle level, not high, not low. Anyway, I'm not going to keep saying the same things every review. So go watch the other ones. I say probably the same thing over and over again, but you get the gist. Oh, let's talk about it. So one of the better IPAs I've had this late. No, just definitely on the outside looking in. Not bad by any means. And, you know, if this is the best that Florida has to offer, that's a good thing. We're kind of, you know, a land of riches up here. So maybe that's just me kind of having steak every day. But, you know, it's just kind of the kind of like definition, kind of paint a picture of a New England style hazy IPA. Value and availability, don't know. Maybe Ralph can chime in on that and just say if you like what will you like this. If you like everything I said, it's hazy. It has some fruitiness going on. There's a super density to it, and there's like a hoppy kind of weedy burn to it. But although it's generic, it gives you the vibes of that kind of super New England hazy thing. So if that's what you're into, definitely worth giving a whirl. Or if you want to support a brewery trying to do these things, because eventually they will kind of twist and turn and make their way into something that is their own, which is the best part about all this, is that eventually everybody finds their own way, and I don't think it'll be long before they do. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff and things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, so all four of those places if you want to check this dude out anywhere else. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice civil society beer right now, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.